I'm actually, let's see here, we're a little past 12, so I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone so we can get started. Yeah. We'll ring the bell. Welcome to Road Gateway Rotary Club. All right. I think we're still waiting for a couple more people, but Pat is here. Pat Bath, you're going to lead us in the pledge today? All right, go for it.
Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I don't see Cindy on yet. She's coming in by phone. Cindy Grondel was going to do the inspiration. Does anyone have one ready, top of mind, or I can give my thought of the day a little early?
I have one.
Okay, go for it, Jamie.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, so this is E.B. White's beautiful letter to someone who lost faith in humanity. And that the advice wasn't get a kitten, although it could have been. So in March of 1973, a Mr. Nadeau sent a letter to E.B. White, the author of greats such as Charlotte's Web and Stuart Little, expressing his bleak hope for humanity. What a beautiful reply found in Letters of Note, attempts to raise the man's spirits. Dear Mr. Nadeau, as long as there is one upright man, as long as there is one compassionate woman, the contagion may spread and the scene is not desolate. Hope is the thing that is left to us in a bad time. I shall get up Sunday morning and wind the clock as a contribution to order and steadfastness. Sailors have an expression about the weather. They say the weather is a great bluffer. I guess the same is true of our human society. Things can look dark, then a break shows in the clouds, and all is changed, sometimes rather suddenly. It is quite obvious that the human race has made a queer mess of life on this planet, but as a people, we probably harbor seeds of goodness that have lain for a long time waiting to sprout when the conditions are right. Man's curiosity, his restlessness, his inventiveness, his ingenuity have led him into deep trouble. We can only hope that these same traits will enable him to claw his way out. Hang on to your hat, hang on to your hope, and wind the clock, for tomorrow is a new day.
I love that. Thank you. That is wonderful. Okay, do we have, I'm checking our list for a smaller group today, and I don't see any visiting Rotarians or guests. I think it's just us today. Okay. So welcome to everybody. I do want to say we do have a first posting for two new prospective members, Allison Kavanagh, who is Patty Hansen's granddaughter. The board just approved her application to come through, and same for Farron Mayfield, who many of us are familiar with. So this is the first posting for both of them. They'll have one more posting next week before they're officially inducted. So you see them, give them wonderful welcome to our club. I know Wayne couldn't make it today for an update, and I don't see Val, do I? Don't see Val. All right, so we might be light on announcements, but Doug, I think you mentioned that you wanted to make an announcement.
I do. Can you hear that, Gina Marie?
Quietly.
Okay.
The volume is a little low.
All right, I'm gonna fool around with this microphone while I'm talking here, so let me know, give me a thumbs up if it's good or not. That's good there? Okay. So the microphone's about 3 feet from me here, trying to test it out. So the shelter in town is still in need of the meal train, people to provide meals for them. So I'll send a P-mail out reminder this evening about that. And if you can, provide a meal of some sort for them. It's an evening meal for about 20 people. Last time I did it 2 weeks ago, I provided just cold cuts and bread and tomatoes and lettuce for sandwiches, and they were very happy with that. And so anything you can do is welcome, and they really appreciate it. And we'll send that notice out in the P-mail this afternoon.
Perfect. Thank you. Does anybody else have an announcement that we didn't catch? Okay, I
Yes,
want to
I
remind.
do, Gina Marie.
Hi, Lisa.
I was lost in my Zoom screen here.
Yes.
I want to remind everybody that it is back to school time, and we have our Student Service Above Self program that'll kick off in October. So you'll be getting an email from me, as usual, at this time of the year, asking for donations for our Student Service Above Self gift. Everyone has always been so generous, and the students truly appreciate it, and so do the teachers. So just a reminder that it's coming up.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, and I want to remind everybody that it is next week already, is September 1st, which just that on its own is hard to believe. But that also means that it is the first opportunity for us to have in-person meetings again. Doug is currently at Wild River Pub, where we will be meeting in person. So for those of you who are not familiar with our meeting location, it's not the main Wild River Pizza, it's the pub across the street on F Street. And just wanted to let everybody know a few logistical pieces. And this information will all be in the Navigator if it wasn't already in last night, so I didn't have a chance to check, but we'll have some kind of frequently asked questions. So doors will open at 11:30. So if you would like to get there early to get your meal and chat and visit with folks, you can. We're going to keep the meeting start time at noon. So the bell will ring and the meeting will start officially at noon for those folks who need to watch their lunch hours. In terms of food and costs, the pub will provide a buffet meal. And it is $18 for the full meal, or for any portion of the meal. If you just get the salad, it doesn't matter. The meal is $18. If you're not going to get the meal, but you want a drink and a cookie, you can get that for $5. And if you're not going to eat anything at all, it's just a $2 basically cover charge to get into the meeting. So $2, $5 for coffee or cookie, $18 if you want food. At this time, you won't be able to order off of the menu. That may change moving forward. We'll have to work that out with the pub. They don't have, it's not going to be exactly the same as it was when we were there before. So for folks who are used to our in-person meetings, we're not going to have the dedicated staff to come as servers. So that's why they're not going to be able to do the ordering off the menu, at least to start off with. We'll kind of work the kinks out and see how things go. From there, the room does also look a little different, as you might be able to see behind Doug. We do not have the large round tables that seat 8 anymore. There are smaller square tables without the tablecloths, so the setup is gonna look a little bit different, right? It's a little bit things look different. So just for those of you who are used to what it used to look like, just be prepared to have your expectations set that it's going to be slightly different than it was before. But it will still be nice to see everybody in person, and you'll have a chance to visit with folks, have a meal, and obviously offer everyone grace for the technology as we get that working, and working out all of the kinks and getting used to being back in person and then having a hybrid meeting. So we're gonna test it out next week and see how it goes. Any questions about meetings? Yes, Kurt.
Yeah, I went to the Wednesday Club yesterday because I wanted to hear their speaker, and yeah, as Maggie showed, it worked out pretty well. They had a pretty good full house there yesterday, and it worked out real well. So they had a buffet type thing and salads and whatnot. So it worked out real well.
Good. Any other questions about meetings next week? All right. I am going to be running the meeting from home for the first couple of weeks so that I can be here to kind of manage the virtual side of things and any tech problems that come up here. So I won't be there in person for the first couple of weeks until we get all of those kinks worked out. So you won't see me in person yet, but that's why. I want to make sure that there's some tech management on this side. Okay. Yes, and I see a comment in the chat from Doug that the $18 meal cost does include the tip. So, and it's also a way for folks who may not know, the meal cost is all that we owe the pups. So they do not charge us a room reservation fee for having the space reserved for us every Thursday. Most other venues that we were looking at would have, typically charged a rental fee for the room. So, so that is part of the benefit of having that. And, the price is a little bit higher than we're used to, but all of that is built into that cost of the meal. So that.
I was wondering on Doug's end, is he watching a big screen right now? Oh, okay. And so you're hearing us through the big screen? Or how are you hearing us?
Currently, I'm hearing you through the laptop because there's people in the room and I have the speaker systems shut off
Okay,
because the room's being used by a family at the moment.
okay, thank you. That's nice of the family to share it with you.
Yeah, they are, they're generous. They wanted to come over in the meeting too, but chased them away.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, great. All right, so we're looking forward to seeing everyone next week. Okay, any other announcements or questions or anything that we need to cover? Okay, so we had a last minute change in the speaker schedule. And as I was trying to think of what we were going to do for this week, I realized that we haven't really talked about committees yet. And this might be a good opportunity for folks to learn a little bit more about the committees and teams we have in our club, get an idea of what everybody does. And then we're going to test out breakout rooms here and give people an opportunity to chat amongst themselves about the committees, learn more about them if you aren't familiar with them, and brainstorm ideas for things that might be able to happen this Rotary year. And also give you guys an opportunity to think about, if you haven't already decided, which committees you might like to sign up for. And a sign up sheet will come out. I'm still working on trying to figure out how to get the sign up process virtually. But that will come out this weekend. But this, I figured today would give an opportunity for folks to learn about the different options and helping them make a decision. So I'm going to share my screen if I can. To start off with, for folks who've been in the club for a while, there hasn't been too much change. Reorganize the committees a little bit to simplify things and try to keep teams in committees that seem to make sense. So can you all see my screen? It's been a nod. Okay, and let me see if I can. You can't see. There we go. Okay, that'll work better. So we have 5 committees, 5 overarching committees: administration, engagement, youth services, social impact, and the Rotary Foundation. And then there are individual teams under each of those. And the way we've structured this in terms of leadership is that we look for chair or co-chairs of the committees. And those roles are really sort of as liaisons between the teams in their committee and the board and leadership, so that we are kept up to date as to what's going on. And if any challenges or questions come up, we are able to address those as needed. And essentially just kind of checking in on those teams. So that's generally the role of the co-chair of a committee. And then each individual team may have, in some cases it may not require it, but in some cases it may have a lead or co-leads of a team who would be sort of the ones in charge of coordinating the activities, making sure everybody on that team is kept up to date, that they're scheduling meetings as necessary and delegating whatever tasks need to be done. The piece that I want folks to hear from that is that the chair and the leads are not responsible for doing all of the work. They're responsible for making sure that the work gets done and is coordinated and that the communication is happening. But if you're thinking about taking on a leadership position, most of these projects, most of these teams are active for specific periods of time during the year. None of them, we've tried to divide these up so that none of them should be very overwhelming in terms of the commitment required. And why don't we walk through each of the committees and the teams and just give you a little bit of an overview of what they are. And then I'll take some questions, and then we're going to break out into breakout rooms, one for each committee, and you'll be able to select which breakout room you want to join to discuss with other folks the activities that happen within that committee. So the first is administration. And this is basically all of the teams that do the work that helps the club kind of function and run. So the program team is the group that arranges for our speakers at our weekly meeting and schedules out the calendar for what our programs will be at weekly meetings. Sergeant at Arms are, of course, the team of folks who lead our Sergeant at Arms during the weekly meeting and collect happy bucks. Tech support is the group that is going to be helping make sure all of the technology works at the weekly meeting. Doug is leading that team well, and we've already got some great signups for that from the survey. So thank you to everyone who expressed interest in being part of the tech support team. You'll get connected with Doug soon. Public image. So this is the team that does all of the work to promote our club and communicate about our club. So our website, which will be updated shortly, the Facebook page. Steve runs the Navigator right now. So anybody who's, Margaret does a great job of getting press releases out so that we get information about our club out into the public. So that's the work that the public image team does. And then club fundraising, self-explanatory there. And right now, our primary fundraiser is Porch Fest. So this would be the team that works on Porch Fest and any other fundraising that may or may not happen in the future. So that's administration. Engagement is the team or the committee that works on everything sort of membership and fellowship related. So the membership team is the group that works on recruiting new members, orienting them, onboarding them, helping manage, red badge process, all of that piece of getting our members in and engaged, keeping members engaged. The fellowship team is the group that will help us to organize social activities. So if you're a party planner, if you love having fun, and are looking for ways to help us organize some fellowship activities, some social events outside of our weekly meetings. That's what the fellowship team does. And then we have a group study and friendship exchange team who helps coordinate and make sure folks are aware of the various group study and friendship exchange opportunities that we have, which are opportunities for Rotarians to visit other countries or sometimes other parts of this country and stay with Rotarians, and then for those Rotarians to come visit us in our community. Youth services, we have a lot of teams here, a lot of great work, and this is obviously one of our focus areas as a club is youth services. So RYLA is Rotary Youth Leadership Award. Is what that stands for. In our district, that is a camp that we sponsor high school sophomores to attend in the summer. And so that team would be responsible for helping to identify the students that we would be sponsoring and to coordinate communication with them after the fact so that they can come to present to our club. Interact is the Rotary Youth Club that we sponsor at North Valley High School. So these are high school students at North Valley who have their own service club that is linked to us. Youth Exchange. Rotary Youth Exchange is a wonderful program that our club has had a lot of involvement with in the past. We both host incoming students from other countries. We also sponsor students from Josephine County, Grants Pass, usually Grants Pass area, to go out outbound to other countries. And so for the Youth Exchange team, we're looking for folks who are interested in interviewing students, outbound students, to select folks who would be going outbound. We're looking for folks who are interested in just kind of helping when we have a student here to help coordinate sort of activities and events that they might participate in while they're with us here. We also need a youth services officer who would sort of be in charge of Youth Exchange when we have a student with us, doing home visits and kind of working out all of the logistical details of that. And also that team will help assist in identifying host families for any inbounds, any students who are coming to stay with us in Josephine County. The status of Youth Exchange currently, we will not have any students this school year, but we are getting ready to have Youth Exchange come back next summer. So outbound students would be leaving about August of next year. And we'll be interviewing students this fall. So if you're interested in Youth Exchange for this Rotary year, it's mostly going to entail interviewing students in the fall and kind of getting set up and ready for next summer. We do need some folks who are willing to go through the the verification process of getting, background checks and going through that whole process, so that we've got some folks on hand who are ready for that. But we're going to be partnering this next year with the Grants Pass Rotary Club and sort of sharing the process of probably sharing a Youth Exchange student between the two clubs, so that we can kind of ease our way back into this process. Service Above Self, as Lisa mentioned today, is a great program that we have where we recognize a student from each of the 7, I believe, high schools in our area. And those students are nominated by the school, and those students come to our club once a month. We have someone come and we learn about the amazing work that they do in their school and give them an award. And so the team is responsible for, and Lisa leads this team, coordinates with the high schools to identify the students, and then works to collect the various gifts that we give to the students. So if you're interested in helping Lisa with that, that's what Service Above Self is. And then the 4-way speech contest is an activity that we hold every year for local high school students to write and deliver a speech about the 4-way test and how it applies in life. And then we host the entrance from North Valley High School at our club, select a winner, and then the winner from our club and the other 3 clubs in Josephine County compete in our area contest, which our club has been hosting for the last few years. And the winner from that contest goes on to the district contest. And so the team here would be working to make sure that the North Valley High School students are aware of the program, identifying which students are going to enter the contest, helping to work in identifying judges for the contest, and that sort of thing. Trying to check all of your faces in my tiny little boxes over here to be sure I'm not missing any waving hands. Okay, Social Impact Committee. These are all of the teams that kind of work on the service projects that we do in the community. So community service team is the actual hands-on service projects. And in the past, we have done things like the parkway cleanup, building free little libraries, working out at Raptor Creek Farm, building Foundry Village, doing cleanup work at Indian Mary Park. There's a lot of different types of hands-on service projects that our club has done in the past, and this team would be responsible for coming up with those ideas and coordinating those events and getting club members to those events. The literacy committee is a group that obviously plans for any literacy projects that we're going to do in the community. Last year or the year before, I think we were doing the mentoring project with ESL students. We've done a kindergarten reading program in the past. There's a lot of different opportunities for us here, and Kelly Moody, I think, is leading that team up. Economic Development Committee or team is a group that Josie had been leading from the chamber, and that group is working, that team is working to identify opportunities for us to partner with local business in supporting local economic development. The grants team are the individuals who help us with district grants. So if our club is applying for funding from the district and Rotary International to support one of our community service projects, whether it's a local project or an international project, we need a handful of folks who are willing to do the work in writing the grant and making sure all of the reporting gets done so that we can manage that grant. World Community Service team is a group that in the past has identified opportunities for us to support projects, international projects. And this doesn't necessarily mean, it doesn't require a grant, a district or a global grant. Our club has some funds set aside in our budget where we can contribute to projects one-off, either supporting other Rotary clubs, international projects, or projects on our own. So we've done things like providing funding and supplies for school supplies in Guatemala, or we purchased a sanitizing tent for one of the hospitals in the Philippines. Lots of different, we've gotten solar lamps for a school in Africa. There's lots of different projects that we've been a part of around the world, and that team kind of looks to identify those opportunities and decide how we want to distribute our funds, and if there's any other work that we need to be doing with them. And then the Vocational Service Award is an activity that our club has done where we recognize a non-Rotarian for their outstanding service to the community with a Vocational Service Award. And so that team works to gather nominations and go through those nominations to select a winner and then coordinate the actual award presentation, which should happen in January. That is Vocational Service Month. So it would be great if the award presentation was in January, although it can be scheduled at another time in the year too, if that becomes an issue. And then the final committee is the Rotary Foundation. And I've indicated 2 teams here, but typically the committee is a fairly small group and we just kind of do all of it. And so we work both to raise money for the Rotary Foundation annual fund and then also specifically for Polio Plus. And so we're looking for folks who would be interested in helping to promote the Rotary Foundation and encourage folks to make their donations, and then also help to coordinate the transfer of funds. So when club members make contributions by check, making sure that all the paperwork is submitted appropriately. So that's what the Rotary Foundation committee does. That is separate from our club's Road Gateway RG Rotary Foundation. So this is specifically our club's efforts to raise money for the Rotary Foundation, Rotary International's fundraising arm. Before we move any further, because I just went through a lot there, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a minute so that I can, oops, that's not the one, so I can see everybody. Are there any questions or thoughts about that before we let you guys into breakout rooms to discuss things further? Margaret. Nope. Okay, I don't see any. So what I'm going to ask for all of you to do, I'm going to open up in a little bit.
Gina Marie?
Yes.
I was trying to unmute myself and I unlowered my hand.
No worries.
So I just had a question about the Rotary Foundation. Do you have somebody to chair that or lead that as we have in the past? Do you have somebody already identified?
Yeah, some of these groups we do not have chairs for yet. Some I have people in mind and haven't had a chance to connect with them yet. So for should probably go through that. I think we have chairs for the administration committee, for engagement committee, and we are looking for chairs for sure for social impact, Rotary Foundation, and youth services. And like I said, we've got some folks who we've been in communication with, some people who I haven't had a chance to connect with yet. But if anybody is interested, again, there are always, we encourage, in fact, for there to be role sharing. So if there could be 2 chairs, 2 team leads, for a couple of different reasons. One, so nobody is carrying the full load themselves, and you know that there's opportunity to share the workload, but also so that we can have succession planning and sort of training of folks who are coming in. That way, folks don't have to be the chair or the lead of a team forever if they don't want to be, and can try other things out. So as you're breaking out into rooms and kind of talking about what all of these different committees do and teams do, you know, think about which team or teams you might be interested in participating in. And then if there are any that you would be willing to consider taking a lead role in, and that'll be part of the sign up process. Did you have something else, Margaret?
No, I just didn't get I just don't think I got my question answered. So is somebody leading the Rotary Foundation? No,
is not confirmed yet.
okay, but you have somebody in mind? Okay, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. But like I said, volunteers or nominations are welcome because, as I said, you know, it helps to have more than one person in those roles. Doug, I see your hand up.
Yeah, I was going to add to the community service group or team. Whoops, let me work. I'm working on this here. Okay, so I was going to add about the community service team. Sort of the whole club is in that committee or in that team, because when we do activities, everybody's invited to participate if they can and everything. And then also to the whole club, if you have an activity or an outside group that you're involved with that you want to bring club members to, or energy or resources from the Rotary Club to it, just step forward and say something. And that's kind of how community service works. It's sort of the broad catch-all team that sort of everybody's involved in, whether you know it or not.
Yes.
That's it.
Definitely. The other thing that I'll mention too is that as we reach out to you and ask you to consider which committees or teams you'd like to be involved in, you can sign up for more than one if you would like to. If you are just interested in a specific team, you can sign up for a specific team, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to or required to participate in every part of that overarching committee. So that's another thing to consider. And also, just for anybody who's new to our club and isn't aware, I think another piece that I really want to make sure everybody understands is we have such an amazing club of folks who step forward and participate in such an amazing way that you are never on your own on anything. There is always a lot of help and support. So you should never feel like you're in a position where you're overwhelmed or overcommitted, you know, or on your own in any of this work. So that's something that I want to remind people of as well. That.
Before we go to breakout rooms, are we going to have a moment as a chairperson to sort of give our spiel, our sales pitch?
Sure, if you would like to, please go for it. Bev is our engagement committee chair.
And the reason I ask that is because I'm not sure I guess when we go to breakout rooms, I don't know if we'll be able to switch to breakout rooms during that time, or you think,
yeah, you should be able to. So we're going to leave them open, and like I said, you can select which room you want to go into, and you should be able to switch to a different room if you would like to check out more than one.
Okay,
we'll see.
But if I can, I'll give my really quick spiel.
Yeah.
We have 9 people in engagement, in the engagement committee right now. And as Steve Rowe has pointed out, that everybody is in engagement, just like they're in social impact and community service. So everybody's welcome, even if you just want to be included in emails or get sent the minutes after we have a meeting or something like that. Another sales pitch I have is that we have fun. The 9 people that we have in there. And new to this group, or new to that, is the group study and friendship exchange team. This is a new part of our engagement committee. So Tommy is going to be, I think, leading that up, but if you're interested in that you'd be working with Tommy, and that would be great. And the fellowship team, like Gina Marie pointed out, that is, we always like all the ideas that people have. So even if you're not on the fellowship team, you can give us your ideas. And that, I'm sure that goes with all the teams. And I think those were the main things I wanted to say at the moment, but just feel free to email me if you have any other questions about it, or you want to come to the breakout room, and I will put my email in the chat. But and if you ever need information about how to get in touch with anybody, DACDB is really helpful with that, and I can help you with that too. That's the end of my spiel, quick spiel.
Thanks, Bev. Does anyone else want to share about a committee or a team before we split out into rooms? And we'll have that opportunity in the breakout rooms, but if anybody wants to catch everyone in the club. Okay, so we're trying this out. We're gonna try this and see how it goes. So I'm about to open up the breakout rooms. You should see a pop-up come up on your screen, and it should give you a choice between 5 rooms, and you should just be able to go to one of those rooms. And then you should also be able to switch between rooms or come back to the main room. I'm gonna put my cell phone number in the chat box here. So in case something happens and you find yourself stuck and can't get back, you can text me and I can try to reel you back in. Okay, so we're gonna try this out. I'm gonna try hopping around to a couple of different rooms. So just gonna give you guys a few minutes to chat with folks, ask any questions, think about what the teams might want to work on this year, and just give you guys an opportunity to think about which teams you might want to be a part of. So we'll see how this goes. In all rooms. All right. And choose the room you'd like to join.
Sorry, we don't have our pick thing yet.
Isn't that coming up?
No.
Okay, some people have made it into rooms.
Yeah, lower bottom, it said something like join a breakout session or whatever. So I clicked past it. Lower right bottom of the screen is where it showed up on mine.
We do have a thing that says breakout rooms at the bottom of our screen on the computer.
Yeah, click on those. Click on that.
Okay.
And that'll
Okay.
give you options.
It didn't pop up. Interesting. And if you're having trouble finding that and want to tell me where you'd like to join, I can assign you to a breakout room.
This is Debbie. You can send me to membership.
Yes, I can do that. Debbie,
Thank you.
engagement. You're welcome. Anybody else need help joining a room?
Gina?
Yes.
So I'm trying to click on engage or administration and it's not letting me in.
All right, I will send you there.
Okay.
There you go. Okay, Pat, do you have a room you'd like to go to? I can't hear you.
I'm trying to get on social impact, but I don't.
Social impact. Okay, I can send you there. There you go. Oops, did I send the wrong person? Social impact. What about you, John?
Community service. I never saw the thing at the bottom that you guys were talking
Well, I
about.
thought community
Okay.
service was in social impact.
Yep, I'll send you there right now. Okay, so. Hi, Brenda, would you like to go to youth services? Okay, I will send you there. Just a sec. Youth services. There you go. You're back, John. Let me see here.
I don't know what happened.
If you, let's see here, if you look at the bottom of your Zoom screen, do you see something like near where you have where you raise your hand? There should be something down there that says breakout rooms. If you click on that, you should be able to join. You're welcome. Same for you, Brenda. Are you able to see the button at the bottom of the screen where you can join?
I don't see it was there before. I don't see it now. Okay, I see this.
Hi, Kelly. How'd that work for you? Oh, maybe you're muted still.
So this is social impact. And what happened? Am I in the wrong meeting?
You're back in the main room now.
Okay,
So-
let me see if I can get to social impact.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Okay. Let me know if you need help and I can always send you there.
Join social impact.
Hi, Caver.
Hi, Gina Marie. I just didn't know how to unmute. Good to
Alright.
see you.
You too. All right. Close the room. Hopefully everybody makes it back. Oh, gives them 60 seconds. Huh? You get an extra minute. How did that go?
It was technically perfect.
Okay.
Once I finally figured out.
Yes.
And also helpful to hear from Lisa.
Okay.
We didn't have as many people in the group, so.
No, it's interesting. I know people are interested in multiple committees, and so which they choose to go to chat about is tricky. I wish we had more time. Okay, are we all back? Just double check, be sure. Text message.
The breakout thing was great, Gina Marie.
Did that work?
Yeah, it worked. We all got cut
Good.
off, but you know, time.
Yeah, I know. That is the challenge of breakout rooms, is that there's never enough time to have the full conversation you would like to have, right? Okay, so is everyone back? I can't see. I think we're all back. Like, Okay, so I won't ask for report outs because I want to leave some a little bit of time for happy bucks for anybody who can stick around. But if you were in one of the groups and you guys came up with some really cool ideas for projects or activities, please make sure that gets noted down and sent in to me. If you have an idea right off the bat that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so fired up, I definitely want to be on this committee, you can email that to me. If you are open to learning more about being either a team lead or a committee co-chair, and you want more information about that or want to throw your hat in one of those positions, please let me know that as well. But I will be sending out further communication to the club this weekend to give you guys that opportunity. But if you already have your decisions made, or if you've got some ideas you want to make sure we hear about, please share those. Okay. We're right at 1, and I want to be respectful that there are some folks who might need to get back to work. So just want to quickly remind everyone again, next week is our first in-person meeting. We have Judy Basker scheduled to do her vocational presentation. So that should be a great first meeting back for those who are able to make it in person. And then we, of course, will be hybrid for anyone who wants to join us via Zoom. And then today is the start of Be Kind to Humankind Week, which I would encourage you to Google because I didn't know that that was a thing, but it's got a really interesting history. And a quote that I found that tied in with it is, do your little bit of good where you are. It's those little bits of good put together that overwhelm the world. So I would encourage you, if you're able and interested, to stick around for a little bit. Deb is Sergeant at Arms today, and we don't have much time, unfortunately, but hopefully we can do at least a few happy bucks. But if you have to go, we understand, and we will see you next week. Deb, you want to see if anybody's
Thank you, Jean. I put a clip into the chat when the meeting started, but it's gone now. Did that somehow get preserved?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. All right.
I can still see it. So yeah,
all right, great. Well, the chat, the clip that I put into our chat is a clip from an article from the Baldrige organization, the National Malcolm Baldrige Quality Award Program. And there it's sort of how we've taken the concept of PDCEA, Plan, Do, Check, Act from the 50s, and we're kind of upgrading it now. And they're using RSPAR as a way of evaluating what we're doing. And this is perfect on the heels of today's meeting. As we looked at our committees, as we look at what each of us are doing, membership is the focus for August. And so we're coming to the end of the month, and it's maybe a time for us to say, not just the new members or prospective members, but those of us who have been around for a while, to step back and reflect. I love the fact that they've incorporated reflection into many steps of this cycle of analyze, synthesize, and act and review. And as you read the article, think about, okay, what are we doing in our Rotary right now? As you analyze where we are, what does our community need? What does our Rotary need? What do we need? Because this is about us as well. And I think it's important to remember that somehow what we do has to match what our truth is, what our purpose is. And certainly I think you can probably find it in that list of committees that we have available. As you come away from that analysis and think about what the priorities are. Remember, if you have all A priorities, you have no A priorities. What are the things that are most important to you that you want to do, that you feel will make a difference, again, for the club, the community, and most importantly for you? And then take action on it. Figure out, what is it do you need? Do you need to go to one of these committees? Do you need to go to the board and get funding? Or do you need to go and partner with somebody who's been around, somebody like a Tommy, to say, I want to do something with this grant program. Where do I start? And she'll walk you through that process. Pull your resources together that you need to do what it is that you want to do. And then put your plan on paper and commit yourself to some outcomes, some metrics. How do you know? Where do you want to go? And how do you know when you get there. And then again, reflect, and go back and review and look at what you said, what's gone on in our world around us. Think about the pandemic and what the pandemic did to all of our plans, kind of dumped them upside down. When those disruptive changes happen around us, it's important to step back. Sometimes people just put their head down and keep going, but you got to step back and reassess the world around us. And again, that reflection and purpose. Let's be purposeful, and let's not just do for the sake of doing, but because it is meaningful, and because we all make a difference, and everybody wants to make a difference. We're lucky we belong with a group like Rotary that actually does it. So happy reading, and happy purposeful efforts. And so how about a couple of purposeful bucks? Anybody have any happy purposeful bucks that they want to throw into the pot today? Okay, now I have to start looking at, help me, Gina Marie, if there are hands or fingers or.
Yeah, I know, right? Waving at the camera. Callie Moody.
All right.
Okay, hey, I was just telling Deb, great tag teaming, you two. And this breakout session was so important. I think that's it was such a great opportunity to have that happen today. So
I'm
yay.
glad that worked out.
It worked out great. I have 10 bucks that are happy bucks because I don't have to have a second surgery. I had a melanoma on my arm, so no second surgery there. Yay. And Lutz had his surgery today, melanoma of the mouth. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't. It was a little dental surgery, and he's smiling, so that's got to be a good thing.
All right, thank you, Kelly. Who else has some happy bucks? Doesn't have anything to do with health issues. Let's pretend we're not a lot of seniors here. All right, I'll give you some happy bucks. I'm going to do 20 happy bucks, $10 for each room. My son and I are painting at our house out in the Applegate, and we have made it through the kitchen, and we are just about finished with the entryway. And we're having a blast. At the end of every day, we're hot, and we walk off to the river and jump into the river and have a swim, come home, make dinner, and we're eating out on the deck by 9:30, 10 o'clock easy every night. It's dark, but it's wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. Bev.
I didn't put in my happy bucks for before we went on our vacation to Alaska. So I'll do those. And I also want to put in 10 more for the Alaska trip. It was wonderful, beautiful, amazing. And another 10 bucks for my engagement committee team. Yay. And I love this whole Rotary team. So that's my happy bucks. And hi, Doug. It's nice to see you over there.
All right, Lisa. Oh, mute yourself, my dear.
Okay, sorry. 10 bucks because I am so happy to be a part of this Rotary group. And 10 bucks for my son and daughter-in-law who are on their honeymoon.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yes, and I have to say it, 10 bucks. Lutz's oral surgery is over with. It's done, and he's doing so well. So 30 for me today.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yay.
Thank you. Anybody else? Any other travel happy bucks? Anybody happy because Doug is sitting over there running being a prototype for us?
Hey, Doug.
Yay, Doug. Oh, yes, Doug.
So I got happy bucks because I'm here and this thing, it feels like it's going to work out.
Oh,
So
yay.
All right.
I think the difficulty will be presentations, videos from a presenter. I think that's where the Wednesday Club struggles, as well as getting the audio worked out. So we're gonna have to just try one or two of those and see how it works. And go from there. But yeah, I think we got this worked out, and I have been to Staples about 5 different times in the last 5 days. I'm gonna go back again after today and try to find something else now too. So, yeah. Thank God for
Man.
Staples. Yeah.
If you need any office supplies, come to
And
my.
I'm happy I can put my $10 Happy Bucks on a table right here in the club.
Yay.
Next week, there'll be other people here too.
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you, Doug.
Doug, do you think the in-person presenters are going to be a problem, or the on Zoom presenters?
I think both of the presenters will be fine. It's if they're going to play a video for us.
Oh.
If they bring a PowerPoint that has a video, that has audio, apparently that is something Wednesday Club is struggling, is to get the audio from a presenter's presentation to play on Zoom and in the house.
Ah.
And until we do it a couple times, we're probably gonna have the same problem.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Deb, I'll raise my hand and give some happy bucks. I'm grateful and thankful that we have club members like Doug who are willing to pitch in and make sure things work. And I'm encouraged that we will figure it out and it will go great. And then I'm also grateful that our club is so understanding and gives so much grace for as we adjust and get used to that. Planning a last minute program in breakout rooms and that seems to all have worked out pretty well. So it's great. I love this club.
Here. All right. Anything else? If not,
one idea I had, I'm participating in a master class right now, and it's with what's her name? Gates. Not Bill Gates' ex-wife. Melinda Gates. Melinda Gates, yes. It's 15 segments at 2 hours and 29 minutes total. So they're about 15 minutes a segment. Some are longer, some are shorter. But it is on purposeful giving. And I really wonder about the application for that for our Rotary Club. How you never tie that in there. You've got to pay for a monthly membership, obviously, with Masterclass. And if we could make it even part of the meeting afterwards or something, they're just such great ideas about giving that you think about, well, she's multi-billionaire and that kind of stuff, but she really takes it down to the very much the local level that each of us can make a difference in giving in our own way. And just want to throw that idea out there for whatever that's worth.
I think it's a great idea, Steve. I mean, that is a key anymore, is that people have to have a purpose. And I think as people age, the issues of depression are certainly addressed by finding more purpose. As you look at issues of addiction, a lot of the ACEs stuff, kids are looking for a way to make a difference, something that adds meaning to their life. So I think that this is worth kicking the tires on.
Yeah.
She just is a wonderful presenter. And the problem is though, Gina Marie, it's a 2 hour and 29 minute total thing. So It's longer than a program. It would have to be and I was even wondering about maybe after the meeting for members that might want to stay, after Happy Bucks time. I'd be happy to do it on Zoom, for example. Here you can do it in person. As Doug talked about, that's where difficulties might be coming in the speaker. And I might go down there next week and see if I can play with my speakers at all, as far as wireless speakers, to just see if there's got to be a solution to that thing. We're not the first person to have that difficulty. And just because the Wednesday Club may not have the right thing to do it, I think there's some speakers around here that will work out just fine.
Yeah.
Good idea. All right, Gina Marie, I don't see any more hands, and I know we're up against the clock. So back to you.
Yeah, thank you everyone who was able to stay. It's great to visit. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
It's good to see you, Kaver. I hope I caught her before she hung up. Nope, boy, all of a sudden the boxes are disappearing.
Yeah.
Oh, but the absent Doug is still in the,
Yeah. Doug, are
That's
you still
really nice.
available?
like they've redone the place quite nicely.
Yeah, it's quite different. It'll be interesting.
Doug,
Doug,
Hopefully,
we're missing you. Doug.
hopefully he didn't forget his computer.
I
No,
doubt.
he
probably
went and joined that.
Oh,
He went
there he
and
is.
joined that other family. Oh no, here he comes.
Doug, just a question in terms of the video presentations. If it's just the video part that somebody is trying to show, is there any reason why we couldn't do them simultaneously to people in the location and show it online for people that are Zooming? It wouldn't necessarily have to link up precisely, but if they were just being done at the same time, it seems to me that we would be able to cover that.
Yeah, we've got the video, no problem. So if there's a presenter here and they have a PowerPoint or a video they want to show, that's fine. I believe the difficulty that Wednesday Club is having is the audio portion of a video that a presenter wants to play from the laptop. And I think the problem is, and until we do it once or twice, I'm not sure. I got a lot of information thrown at me from the Wednesday Club. I think the problem is either sound here, it's either projected into the loudspeakers in the room, or it's projected into Zoom, and they're having a difficulty doing both. Right, and so the answer may be to project to Zoom and then to get a second set of speakers here.
Yeah.
Maybe the answer, but we have to do it a couple times to figure it out, and it'll be something we work through.
Yeah.
Or if we could get that program and download it ahead of time so that the whoever's running the Zoom meeting could shut off the sound to the group and run it for the Zoomers while the person who's presenting runs it for the people in the group. Again, it might not be precisely linked up, but it would cover the same material, say within a minute or so,
Yeah.
and then get back together to do discussion on it.
Yeah. I think we may need to do something like that, where the timing may be a little bit off. We can play both audio at both venues, Zoom and in the room.
Yeah.
Gina Marie, might need you when we have some time over the next few meetings to have maybe a 2-minute video set up at your end.
Mm-hmm.
Click on so I can make sure I can get it projected into the building here, and then I'll probably have to do some similar thing through the laptop here, because that's going to be where the difficulty is. But we'll just check as we go.
I hadn't thought about it before though too. Is the intention that the laptop that you're using right now, if a speaker has a PowerPoint, they would play it on that laptop, or do we need a second?
Okay. I think so. I think that if they're here in person, I think it would be through this laptop.
Perfect.
Zip drive, put the zip drive in this thing, download it, play it. If the person is zooming into our meeting, then they can just play it through their own system.
Yeah. And then have we figured out the camera piece of things in terms of, like, right now you're just on the laptop and we can see you. Is there a camera set up for the room, or? Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
I've got a small camera. I've got to figure out how to put it on a decent tripod sort of thing so that it's a little more adjustable, accurately adjustable. I'll fuss with that in the next few days.
Okay.
And then I think we should just buy one of those owls. It
I
seems
agree.
to be the best product.
Yes.
I'm going to ask Suzanne Levine to do a little research on that. And then the other thing that we sort of need is a lapel microphone that's wireless.
Right.
And the Wednesday Club bought one, but they're struggling with it's wireless to a phone, not wireless to the laptop. So we need to get a wireless lapel mic that connects to the laptop, so there isn't a third connection, because they're struggling. I think it's just the one they bought. They just bought the wrong one. But
I think we just need one that's got Bluetooth, because the computer should have Bluetooth, and as long as you connect those two, then it should work.
I assume that, and I assume they assume that, but it doesn't seem to be working for them.
Okay.
So we got to figure that one out, and make sure they're all same Bluetooth compatible. And the
Yeah.
only issue I got right now is the Cat 5 cable from the pub. This
Mhm.
laptop doesn't have a connection for it. So I've got to go buy
Oh.
a splitter that has a Cat 5 connection, because their internet service comes through the Cat 5.
Yeah,
So I am currently on their crappy service.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, their crappy Wi-Fi that's for pub guests. They
Yeah.
have a better Wi-Fi, so we'll get that worked out, and that's about the last kink in this whole thing.
So Doug, does the Wednesday Club have the same issue with the Cat 5 access?
They run their system off the Cat 5, the built-in Cat 5.
I think
Okay,
they're-
so they don't have the adapter issue that
Yeah.
we're having?
I
think
don't
the-
know. I don't know where theirs plugs into. I assume
Okay,
they're-
I was just thinking, if there's some kind of an adapter to share that with them so that, we aren't each of us getting all our own.
I would love that, because I like to share and not buy duplicate things, but they are currently taking everything home with them.
Oh, okay, yeah, that doesn't work.
And we're gonna do the same.
Okay,
I
all right,
Yeah, I intend to
got it.
I'm gonna build a lock box for the back room and store everything in the lock box. But at the time being, we're gonna take it home.
Yeah, I agree. Understood.
We could also encourage people to bring to the meeting, bring a laptop or some device to be able to watch videos on that device, as opposed to watching it, having to do it, projecting it, which was never very good anyway, because the lighting and
Yeah,
so on.
I would say that the big screen TV in the room is good visual right now. It works well.
It is, okay,
Did they
great.
switch to it? Did they switch to an actual television as opposed to the screen?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
looks like a 70-inch television or something up there.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
Yeah, and it's a little more, the controls are more intuitive because we all have TVs.
Right.
Control for it's a little easier than that projector they had.
Yeah.
Yeah, the projector was light and fuzzy.
Steve,
Thanks, Doug, for all your work.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
Yeah.
It's
Okay, hey, I'm gonna go drool for a while, all
bye,
right?
Luke.
All right.
All righty,
Take
Enjoy
care.
thanks, everybody.
Love you
Good to
guys.
see you.
Hey, Doug,
yeah.
remember, Steve talked about microphones, so before you buy any more microphones or whatever, he said he had systems that you might wanna.
Oh, I thought he talked about a wireless speaker just now, just a moment ago.
Oh, I thought he talked microphones, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
we have a microphone.
Okay,
And it's pretty good. It's this,
Yeah,
I put it away. It's a good microphone. But
okay.
Yeah.
it's wired, and the wire is only 12 feet long. And it's a big tangly mess back here on the stage. Anybody
Yeah.
who walks from the stage is gonna trip themselves up. So we gotta figure that part out too over the course of next month.
yeah. I'm wondering if, I'm trying to think if I'm trying to think if there's somebody that we know through the club who could at least give us some advice on the right equipment. I'm trying to think if Jess with his Sights and Sounds, if that's something, I don't know if they've done and how much work they do with mics, but I'll see if I can reach out to Jess and see if he's got any ideas about wireless lapel mics.
Okay, well,
How to make them work.
if he's got a simple solution for us, 'cause we need it to be simple.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I'm gonna ask Suzanne just to do some research and see if
Yeah.
she can come up with one that looks like it would fit for us.
Somebody talked about Jess Webb for membership before, I remember.
Jess used to be in our club and he was a great club member. He had to bow out several years back, I think, because of time commitment stuff, but he might be more available now.
Yeah. I think
He
his
still
business-
helps us every year with the projecting the Enfolio now.
Right.
And now that attendance isn't as a thing anymore, really, he might be more apt.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, I'm gonna back up.
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
bye.
Hi, babe. See you in a bit.
I thought it was a good meeting, Gina Marie. I think we could do
I'm glad.
committee meetings more often even.
Yeah, I was a little nervous, like this isn't planned, but we'll just.
You know, I think it would be good to actually send the recording out to the 25, 30,
Yeah.
40 people that didn't show up for the meeting, just so they could
Yeah.
get an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, send a link.
And I think we could do a more in-depth meeting about the committees.
Yes, for sure.
Planned on. You just need to task people with each committee to talk about it. And then you're going to send a follow-up, send me your name and this is where you want to go, or send your name to this person if you're interested in it, right? Kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, because we only had Johnny Jones and Lutz pop in, and Steve Rowe 2 hours. And Johnny Jones just had an idea about social. So
Yeah.
So
Nice.
yeah.
Mine, I just had about 70 or 80 people. That's how
I
popular.
know.
That's what I know. I know.
Everyone was in the social impact committee. It was just Kirk and Rotary Foundation, so I popped over and chatted with him for a little while.
That's
Okay.
good.
See you later.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye.